Colombia's history is inextricably linked to the rise and fall of powerful cartels that have shaped the nation's political, economic, and social landscape. In this gripping documentary, we delve into the shadowy underworld of 5 of the most powerful Colombian cartels. From their ingenious smuggling operations to their chilling displays of dominance, these organizations left an indelible mark on the global drug trade. As we explore their stories, you'll witness how ambition, power, and a relentless drive for control created empires that thrived in defiance of law and order. Join us as we uncover the strategies, alliances, and legacies of these infamous cartels, offering a window into a world where the stakes were as high as the risks. Medellín Cartel. In the annals of criminal history, few organizations have achieved the notoriety of the Medellín Cartel. Spearheaded by the infamous Pablo Escobar, this cartel rose to prominence in the late 1970s and dominated the global cocaine trade throughout the 1980s. At its peak, the Medellín Cartel was responsible for controlling nearly 80% of the world's cocaine market. Escobar's ruthless ambition and strategic brilliance enabled the cartel to establish a vast network of production, distribution, and enforcement. Leveraging a combination of bribes and threats, often summarized as plata o plomo, silver or lead, the cartel wielded immense power over Colombian politics, law enforcement, and society at large. The cartel's operations were nothing short of audacious. From secret jungle laboratories producing cocaine in colossal quantities to ingenious smuggling routes that utilized everything from airplanes to submarines, the Medellín Cartel turned drug trafficking into a global enterprise. It wasn't just about the drugs. It was a highly sophisticated, multi-billion-dollar organization with tentacles extending into the US, Europe, and beyond. Despite their illicit activities, Escobar and his cartel maintained a complex relationship with the Colombian public, with Escobar portraying himself as a Robin Hood-like figure by investing heavily in social projects, building housing, and providing infrastructure in poor neighborhoods. However, the meteoric rise of the Medellín Cartel came at a devastating cost. Escobar's war against the Colombian government, rival cartels, and law enforcement agencies plunged the country into chaos, with assassinations, bombings, and violence claiming countless lives. Eventually, an alliance between Colombian authorities, US forces, and rival cartels led to the downfall of the Medellín Cartel in the early 1990s. Escobar's death in 1993 marked the end of an era, but the cartel's legacy remains a powerful reminder of the impact and reach of organized crime. Cali Cartel. If the Medellín Cartel represented brute force and brazen tactics, the Cali Cartel showcased a different kind of power, strategic sophistication, and meticulous organization. Founded by brothers Gilberto and Miguel Rodríguez Orejuela, along with José Santa Cruz Londoño, the Cali Cartel emerged in the late 1970s and reached its zenith in the 1990s. Known as the Gentlemen of Cali, this group distinguished itself from its predecessor by adopting a low-profile approach while controlling an estimated 90% of the global cocaine market at its peak. The Cali Cartel's success stemmed from its corporate-like structure. It divided its operations into independent yet interconnected cells, each responsible for specific aspects such as production, transportation, finances, and enforcement. This compartmentalized model minimized the risk of exposure and disruption, making it difficult for law enforcement to dismantle the organization. Additionally, the Cali Cartel was adept at laundering its immense profits through legitimate businesses, including real estate and telecommunications, further insulating its members from prosecution. Unlike the Medellín Cartel, the Cali Cartel sought to avoid direct confrontation with the government and adopted a more subtle form of influence, using bribery and infiltration to control politicians, military officials, and the judiciary. However, this facade of gentility could not shield the cartel from its eventual downfall. In the mid-1990s, Colombian and US authorities intensified their efforts, leading to the arrest of its top leaders and the unraveling of its network. While less sensational than the Medellín Cartel, the Cali Cartel's impact on the drug trade and its lasting influence on organized crime remain deeply ingrained in the history of Colombia. Norte del Valle Cartel. Emerging as a splinter group from the dismantling of the Cali cartel in the mid-1990s, the Norte del Valle cartel took Colombia's drug trade to even more violent extremes. Initially composed of former Cali operatives, this cartel capitalized on the power vacuum left by its predecessor, quickly establishing itself as a dominant force in the global cocaine market. By the early 2000s, the Norte del Valle cartel was responsible for exporting an estimated 60% of the cocaine entering the United States, further cementing Colombia's reputation as a central hub for the drug trade. Unlike the Cali cartel's methodical approach, the Norte del Valle cartel leaned into unrestrained brutality to maintain control over its operations and eliminate rivals. Infamous leaders like Wilber Varela, alias Jabon, and Diego Montoya, alias Don Diego, were known for their ruthlessness. The cartel used violence not only to consolidate power, but also to send chilling messages to enemies and law enforcement alike. Despite their internal conflicts, marked by vicious power struggles between Montoya and Varela, the cartel maintained its grip on the trade, leveraging advanced smuggling techniques and forming alliances with Mexican cartels to streamline distribution routes. The cartel's reign, however, came under relentless pressure from Colombian authorities and international law enforcement. By the late 2000s, most of its top leaders had been captured or killed, and the organization began to fragment. The United States played a pivotal role in this crackdown, extraditing key figures such as Montoya to face justice. Although its power waned, the legacy of the Norte del Valle cartel endured in the form of successor groups and a deeply entrenched culture of violence within Colombia's drug trade. Los Rastrojos. Los Rastrojos emerged in the early 2000s as a successor group to the shattered Norte del Valle cartel, inheriting its network and operational expertise. Initially led by brothers Luis Enrique and Javier Antonio Cali, Los Rastrojos quickly established itself as one of Colombia's most influential drug trafficking organizations. With a focus on diversification, the group extended its activities beyond cocaine, delving into marijuana, illegal gold mining, and even human trafficking, thereby broadening its revenue streams and reinforcing its dominance. What set Los Rastrojos apart was its strategic adaptability. The group fostered alliances with other criminal organizations, including Mexican cartels such as the Sinaloa and Zetas cartels, to ensure a steady flow of narcotics across borders. Additionally, it maintained a powerful paramilitary wing, which allowed it to exert control over rural territories in Colombia, often clashing with rival groups like Los Urabeños for control of lucrative smuggling routes. Despite their growing sophistication, Los Rastrojos were not immune to internal strife and external pressure from authorities. By the 2010s, Colombian and international law enforcement significantly weakened Los Rastrojos through targeted operations and the capture of key leaders, including the Cali brothers. The group fragmented into smaller factions, losing much of its centralized power. Yet, the remnants of Los Rastrojos continue to operate in Colombia and neighboring countries, perpetuating cycles of violence and contributing to the ongoing challenges faced by the region in curbing organized crime. This group stands as a testament to how criminal enterprises evolve and adapt in response to pressure, ensuring their survival in an ever-changing landscape of illicit activity. Clan del Golfo, Gulf Clan. The Clan del Golfo, also known as the Gulf Clan, has risen to prominence as one of Colombia's most formidable criminal organizations. Rooted in the remnants of right-wing paramilitary groups that officially disbanded in the mid-2000s, the Clan del Golfo inherited both the networks and the violent methods of its predecessors. Originally known as Los Urabeños, the group rebranded as the Clan del Golfo, signaling its ambition to dominate not only the drug trade, but also other illicit economies, such as extortion, illegal mining, and arms trafficking. Unlike earlier cartels that focused predominantly on cocaine trafficking, the Gulf Clan operates as a narco-paramilitary organization, blending organized crime with territorial control. Based in the Urabá region along Colombia's Caribbean coast, the group wields significant influence over smuggling routes that connect South America to Central America, the Caribbean, and beyond. Its strategic geographic positioning has made it a critical player in international drug markets, collaborating with Mexican cartels like the Sinaloa and Jalisco New Generation cartels to ensure the seamless transportation of narcotics. The Gulf Clan's operations are marked by a militarized structure and a propensity for extreme violence. Its leader, Dairo Antonio Usuga, alias Otoniel, became one of Colombia's most wanted figures until his capture in 2021. The organization exerts control over vast rural areas by intimidating local communities and combating rival groups for dominance. Despite significant efforts by the Colombian government to dismantle the Gulf Clan, including high-profile raids and arrests, the group remains a powerful force, continually adapting to evade law enforcement. The Gulf Clan's enduring presence exemplifies the ongoing challenges in eradicating Colombia's deeply entrenched networks of organized crime and paramilitarism. The stories of Colombia's cartels serve as a stark reminder of the complexities of the global drug trade and the human cost of organized crime. Each cartel we've explored, marked by ingenuity, brutality, and influence, played a pivotal role in shaping Colombia's modern history. Yet their rise and fall also underscore the resilience of those who stood against them, from law enforcement to ordinary citizens. As we conclude this journey into the criminal empires of Colombia, we're left with one undeniable truth. The echoes of these cartels' power continue to resonate, shaping the fight against organized crime today.